I'm in the world, but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, putting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They ban Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target!
Many such cases, they put fear in you. COVID-19, guns, immigration. Here's the truth. Oh, crap. What'd I do? Oh! We here. Guys, the first show of July. You already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. Isms. 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 Beta.
Daddy and I
E
are
black.
never going to get a divorce.
E
But
black.
if we did, we would love you both just as much.
Oh, yeah.
It's a relief. Thank you, Mums. Hit the play button.
I have a major announcement right now. The 1st of July is White History Month. So the whole month is White History Month. From
It's
now on.
White
Happy White History Month.
History Month.
White History Month.
I'm gonna celebrate with my friends.
It's White History Month. So be sure to tell everyone. There will always be different months to celebrate. This month's gonna be
White History.
It's White History Month.
History Month.
And I'm gonna celebrate
America.
America. It's White History Month. And I'm gonna scream it to everyone. There will always be different months to celebrate. But this month's gonna be
White History. That was Castor Troy at the end. Peaches. I could eat a peach. Oh, wait, that's a different movie. I'm mixing up Con Air and Face Off. Same, both great movies. All right. It's White History Month. Right, the reason we got a early super chat from Rat for Reason. After self-reflection and embarrassments of my drinking self, I have decided you will see a sober and new Rat. What'd you do embarrassing? I never seen you get drunk and do anything embarrassing. On VK? No. I haven't seen that. Leah Zuckman. I am Peaches. Well, either way, that's good. Here, since it's White History Month, see, on this channel, we do celebrate white people all year. But for White History Month, we also celebrate JLP, the greatest. He's black on the outside and white on the inside. And he's putting in the work. All right. Here's a little clip of what I'm talking about, what we're doing here.
Of celebrating White History Month. I noticed that the haters, this is our 6th year of celebrating White History.
It's actually the 8th year This is from 2 years ago.
I noticed that the haters of God and of America are doing all they can to erase the true history of America. This is a day to be grateful, to be thankful to God and to the white men who went through hell to create what was once upon a time called the greatest country on this side of heaven. I see nothing but misery in America today. I see men and women waking up, though. A few are looking at themselves, and they're overcoming, of all races around the world. But majority are living in hell, walking dead. Eyes open, but they cannot see. This is our...
Eyes open, but they cannot see. Amazing. Guys, it's White History Month. I didn't pick a person. I'm supposed to pick a person that we'll do this is White History Month. Today we'll pick Charlie Kirk, since Tyler Robinson trial the pre-trial happened today. I haven't seen what went down at it yet, so I'm gonna have to do some live research. Because I was watching the beginning of it when I went to bed, so I didn't watch all of it. I slept through it today, so I have to find like a recap or something. But we'll do Charlie Kirk for White History Month, for the first show of White History Month. Great white man, white family. Now he's getting attacked by the revisionist historian black woman Candace Owens. Not a good look in White History Month. We don't approve of that, Candace. You're going to have to calm down. Look, I knew you were not somebody to be listened to when you were pregnant, going door to door with BLM to expose BLM. And then I hear people saying, Candace Owens red-pilled you on BLM. Why don't you respect Candace? She red-pilled all of us on BLM. What do you mean? We all knew all of that stuff about BLM. She just had women form consensus, and she had the arm to reach to all the women, because all the ladies love Candace Owens. So she could reach the women. She put out that documentary, and all these white ladies who thought that, maybe Black Lives Matter has a point. They did kill George Floyd. Then they saw that Candace Owens documentary, and they're like, wow, why wasn't anybody talking about all this? We were. Candace didn't say anything new in that documentary that we didn't already know. She didn't red pill anybody who was paying attention to the world on BLM. All she does is start beef with people. She's like a drama streamer. She's like the highest level ultimate drama streamer. Some bullshit. And she not white, but Charlie Kirk was white. So happy White History Month. Charlie Kirk was putting in some good work, great work, amazing work. And he was taken out too early by a somewhat autistic, retarded, typical, brain-fogged lefty. Hey, he wasn't a lefty. We don't know he was a lefty. Bitch, his girlfriend was a furry. Boyfriend, girlfriend? Boyfriend? Furry friend? Taken out too early by another white man, but allegedly, since the trial's not over yet. But pretty sure Tyler Robinson's guilty. So that's what we're doing. White History Month. Charlie Kirk, shout out. R.I.P. What else do I have for today? We're gonna look at the Newport Beach riots, chaos at Newport Beach. 400 people arrested, 400 teens, arrested teens. And this time we actually mean teens. We're not just using teens as a cover word for black people, because a lot of these people in this videos and down in Newport Beach were white kids and black kids. It was equal opportunity teen insanity. And a lot of people went to jail. Well, we'll look at that, and then we'll look at the skyscraper love. Love on the skyscraper. What do you think, ladies? Is that romantic? If we commit a crime together and then I propose to you? Is that romantic? Rest in power, brother Charlie. Hell yeah. Is that romantic, ladies? I don't know. We're talking about this skyscraper, these Russian skyscraper scalers. And then the Tyler Robinson trial, I think, is the last. Yeah, the last thing in the main story news I have to end on. So that's the plan. And then rapid fire. And then I got a little, if I have time at the end of the show, I'm going to do a section on something called chosen families, which I probably should have done this during LGBTQ, STD, low IQ, LOL month. I should have done the chosen family or the what they call going no contact segment last month and not during White History Month. But unfortunately, this going no contact chosen family stuff is probably affecting more white people than any other race, because this LGBTQ madness seems to be a white Western phenomenon. I don't see a lot of African blacks having pride parades, and I don't see a lot of Muslims having pride parades. It seems to be Western white people are the ones infected by this LGBT low IQ madness. So, but chosen family, if you don't know, is popular in the LGBT low IQ STD community. And it's basically the idea that, like, your parents brought you into this world against your will. Kind of like an antinatalist idea. And since they brought you into this world against your will, you owe them nothing. And so you should leave your family, go no contact, don't talk to them, especially if they're Trump supporters or radical white extremists. Get away from your family, no contact with the family, don't talk to them, don't call them, don't go visit them for Christmas, don't write them letters. You know, none of that. You go no contact and you make a new family. In the homeless world, we had like the street family. This is my street family. Runaway kids would have a street dad and a street mom. Similar, but this is just gay stuff. This is like grown adults who act like children and getting taken care of by other weird gay grown adults. And then I don't know what sort of weird sex stuff they do at night, but it's creepy, and it's a phenomenon that's happening due to, well, there could be a lot of causes, but we'll talk about that at the end and watch a couple clips and stuff if you haven't heard about the chosen family or the going no contact movement. We're going to learn about it today, but it should have been last month, but I forgot, so we're doing it this month. Plus, it's kind of, since my ward war debate should be coming soon, I touch on this a little bit in the debate. And so if anybody in my audience doesn't know what it's about, you'll know what it's about. So when I say it in the debate, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's weird. That's what it is. That's the plan for the show today. So let's get into it. All right. We're going to start with this Newport Beach stuff. I have not watched. Let me let this ad play. I have not watched any of these clips, so I really haven't even seen how crazy it got. I know there was trash everywhere. I know they're like doing firework battles, which is all right.
People on 4th of July. Some more breaking news.
400 people. All right, so just the headline from Eyewitness, ABC Eyewitness 7. Over 400 people arrested during chaos at Newport Beach July 4th celebrations, police say. The teens are at it again.
To get to right now, police in Newport Beach now say they arrested more than 400 people on 4th of July.
Damn.
About half of them, they say, in a single incident in the Balboa Peninsula last night.
How do you arrest 200 people in a single? I guess you surround them and then you just grab everybody at the same time. But, dude, I never even saw 400 people get arrested at the BLM riots when they were burning, looting, and murdering and lighting buildings on fire and tagging everything and breaking glass out of government. Well, not just governments. They broke the glass out of the freaking 7-Eleven. They looted the 7-Eleven. So it wasn't just like they were hurting the city. They were hurting, business owners, everybody. I didn't see 400 people get arrested then, but they grabbed up 400 people on 4th of July. You're allowed to burn, loot, and murder for a summer, but God forbid you get a little crazy on America's independence 250th celebration.
Police released these photos of the chaos. They say a large number of young people swarmed the
teens,
area, and then they say things quickly spiraled out of control. Fireworks, blocked roads, fights.
See, that kid's white. 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 So when we say teens, youthful party goers, young urban street provocateurs, whatever you want to call them, in this example, we are actually talking about teens.
And a Pavilion's grocery store looted. Police say some people launched fireworks into the crowds. And
a lot of Mexicans, some black. Oh, he black.
By one of those mortars, more than 350 officers responded to this scene and eventually.
It's a mixture of teens. A mixture of teens. Wow. Police released photos of the chaos showing fireworks exploding close to the ground in large groups of people. They're all like crowded in there, and somebody just like lights a mortar and throws it under everybody's feet. That's crazy. That's crazy. Just fireworks blowing up under your feet while you're at a July 4th celebration. Throughout the day, July 4th celebration drew thousands. Social media posts, large influx of young people to the Newport Pier area within a short period of time. Police say when a large number of juveniles and young adults swarmed the area, things quickly spiraled out of control. With fireworks, blocked roads, fights, and a Pavilion's grocery store looted. They're looting. This is teen activity. This is some serious teen activity. Following an unlawful assembly declaration, more than 350 officers arrested 400 people. 17 regional law enforcement agencies working together to clear the area, disperse the crowd, restore emergency access. Dang, what's Yahoo News talking about over here? Packed. This could be a stock image. And riots and looting video. Where's the video? It says there's video. Huh. What began as another packed to the gills 4th of July on the sand in the ritzy Orange County, California surf town descended into chaos Saturday night. Large crowds, mostly young people, clashed with police in a series of disturbances that were captured in dramatic videos circulating across social media. Let's see.
Which means to break up this assembly. If you do not do so, you may be arrested or subject to other police action. Other police actions may include the use of less.
When I was at the BLM riots here in Salt Lake City, it was similar to this. Everybody was packed and going crazy, and the cops were making a line, and all of a sudden the cops start running, and everybody just runs. See, here they come. Go, 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 go. Everybody go, go, go. Got somebody. Well, they got somebody pretty quick. And they left trash everywhere. Okay, this says at least 100 arrests have been made, but we know now that at least 400 arrests have been made. Officials have released few details regarding the full scope of the situation, blah, blah, blah. While the scenes were starting, longtime Orange County residents knew this isn't entirely unprecedented. So this happened before out there. Is this the trash? Look at the trash everywhere. Just smashing watermelons. You're supposed to smash pumpkins, not watermelons. That's racist. Here's them when they're throwing fireworks into the middle of the crowds. Oh, what the heck? I guess I have to watch it on Instagram. There's no audio? And there's no audio. Hey, there's some audio. Thank you, Half Hood Gaming, for the super chat. Look, they're just throwing fireworks in the ground on the ground in the middle of crowds. And we got a girl shaking her butt on a car. Of course, you got to have some girl shaking their butt on the car. Some of the darker youthful party goers are breaking into a store, throwing trash cans. That wasn't the white kids. Yeah, that's just fireworks. But that's a country white boy. Wow. The YN mentality has affected everyone now. That's crazy. Anyway. What was let me see. Let's see what CBS is saying. This is a couple. When's this from? The 6th? This is from today? Yep, this is from today. More than 400 people were arrested across 36 hours. Okay, so that's, but they said more than half of them is from one occurrence. So they grabbed up like 200 people, and then throughout the following days, arrested other people. It was a long celebration, boys and girls. Unruly crowd broke out during 4th of July celebrations. There was a bunch of cops everywhere, blocking everywhere. We were like, we didn't know where to go at this point, said Lorna Stevens, who was one of the many taken into custody. They put us in zip ties. They split up boys and girls, and then they put us in a van. Aerial images showed the crowd around 10:20, where at least one person was seen being loaded into an ambulance with unknown injuries. Another social media video taken earlier in the day showed a large crowd of people that had gathered on the beach running from officers on horseback. It was going crazy. Fireworks everywhere. You couldn't even walk. As the situation continued to develop, police said that the crowd then began to swarm the area near Newport Beach Pier. A police skirmish line formed at one point, and attendees were instructed to return home. A lot of ruckus, lots of police officers, fireworks going off. Crowds destroyed property and landscapes at nearby pavilions. Grocery store Kleeman said video from outside the grocery store showed smashed watermelons and cases of soda in the street. It just kind of ruined what was supposed to be a fun night. More than 100 emergency incidents, including 10 fires, took 44 people to local hospitals. Officers said a majority of the 402 were not from Orange County, half of whom were young. Half of who were young. Why do they say that? Young people. What a broad term. Yeah, I know. That's like saying spring break weekend in Cancun is mostly young people. Thanks, Captain Obvious. What's the point of that? They're doing this because we were figuring out their plan. We were figuring out that they were using young people and teens as a distraction method to actually talk about the blacks. And now we got one where it's not actually all black people. There's a lot of white people there too. A lot of white boys. And so now they're like, we'll use the teen word here. And then they can't say that it's a dog whistle anymore. They got us. They got us. We can't use the teens anymore. Let me see. I don't see much more in here. Bunch of teens. That's, I guess, the real takeaway here is that sometimes when they say teens and young people and youthful party goers, They just mean teens and young people in youthful party. At least in this example. Don't punch me. Drama. I smashed Marshall's mom. What the? Can they lasso people from the police horses? I don't think they're allowed to lasso people. I don't know if they're allowed to lasso people. They should be. That'd be cool. That would be cool. What, do we got a fire going on? I haven't seen nothing about that yet. I think I got a couple videos, and then we can move on off of this. I might starting the Monday show at 7 and just do 2 hours just because I'm always tired. UFC Countdown. Oh, crap. I want to watch that. Here's some of the video from the Newport Beach stuff. And I'm going to celebrate America with my friends.
Illegal fireworks and fights in Newport Beach. Tonight, we're learning much more about what sparked the 4th of July chaos.
I don't know. That was a lot of ethnic
Fights in Newport Beach. Tonight, we're learning much more about what sparked.
Let's see the percentage here. I don't know. There's a lot of black and brown in this, but there's a white kid. There's a white kid. Everybody's head looks like broccoli. Everybody's got the stupid ass broccoli cut.
The 4th of July chaos. Officers say they were forced to move in and make more than
White kids,
400
white
arrests.
kids,
NBC
brown
4's
kids,
Tracy Leong is
white kid
reviewing
with
what
American
happened.
flag.
She joins us now
White kid with American flag suspenders. He probably got arrested.
live with the latest. Tracy.
Yeah, Kathy, and about half of those 400 arrests that were made last night were for people who were refusing to leave this area after officers declared an unlawful assembly. Take a listen. Video captured the chaos that unfolded on the Balboa Peninsula in Newport Beach during the 4th of July. You can see hundreds of people gathering inside the pavilion's parking lot, setting off fireworks, throwing watermelons and water bottles at the crowd and the police officers. One officer...
That's crazy. They were throwing watermelons. USA scores 1-1. What are you talking about? The volleyball tournament? I haven't been keeping up with the volleyball tournament. How's it going?
Was struck with a mortar. He was treated and is expected to be okay. Multiple fights also broke out between the crowds of people and the police, and many people were also standing in the roadways blocking traffic, forcing police to close down several streets. City officials say social media posts drew large crowds of juvenile.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been keeping up with the World Cup, the volleyball game. You know, I know a lot of people are into it. I just don't watch volleyball, so I haven't seen it. But I hope USA is doing good. Yeah, the World Cup, the volleyball games.
And young adults to Newport Beach late last night, and they engaged in dangerous and unlawful behavior. Police were seen in
Soccer. I don't know what that is. What's that mean?
gear ordering people to leave after declaring an unlawful assembly. About 350 Newport Beach police officers, as well as 17 nearby law enforcement
USA versus Belgium volleyball. Let's go.
The Newport Beach Fire Department responded.
Is it women's volleyball?
To about 100 emergency incidents yesterday, including 10 fires, and they transported 44 people to local hospitals, including 6 trauma patients. I spoke to a family who is staying right across from the pavilions. Here's how they described what they saw.
Chaos.
It was insane, mass quantities of kids of all ages. We don't know if they were teenage, we couldn't tell if they were high schoolers. There was a lot of underage kids, a lot. And they were just running up and down. I mean, we kept seeing stuff getting thrown in the air, and we realized later that they were the water bottles that they were stealing from the front of the store. It was just nuts. It was madness.
When the fireworks were really going off, you know, we were keeping a keen eye as well on any kids with backpacks who were just trying to ignite them wherever they wanted to. And there was a few times where we told the kid, hey, not here, you know, do it elsewhere, because like I said, they were low-level explosives and they should be up in the air, but it was pretty chaotic, insane.
Newport Beach police plan to have an increased presence throughout the holiday weekend. The city
They were shooting it out with bottle caps.
also says that compared to last year, they had 60 arrests compared to 402 that they had this year for the same time period. Reporting live in Newport
60
Beach,
to 400.
Tracy Long.
That's a big increase. That's a dang gap, boy. Dang. I think there's just more. All these news stations just have more of the recycled kind of footage. I don't know if we're gonna get anything new from CBS Los Angeles, but I think they had a I don't know. Let's see what these kids are talking about.
Another top story, this 4th of July chaos in Newport Beach. Thousands of teens descending on the city in a social media-fueled takeover, launching fireworks, blocking roads, and trashing a grocery store.
CBS LA's Lauren Posen is live in Newport Beach, where tonight police say they've made hundreds of arrests. Lauren.
Over 400 arrests, Leslie. And you know, it's hard to believe
Over
that
400.
just 24 hours ago, this area was a complete mess. In fact, behind me is that pavilions that got hit during all the chaos. People that were here tell me it was shoulder to shoulder with some crowds setting off fireworks right in the middle of the road.
We've seen this already.
It was going crazy. I mean, we were on the beach. Fireworks are going everywhere.
A 4th of July celebration.
This kid walking around doing the
and you couldn't even like walk
doing the
HH
like
a back alleyway so
with
I
a
could,
Roman
like, get
candle.
over there and get to my car.
A massive crowd swarmed the Newport Pier area. Thousands of people packing the streets, stopping traffic, and setting off fireworks in every direction, some hitting officers too. Mobs of people ransacked the pavilions, throwing watermelons and
Why do you smash watermelons though? That seems, I don't know. Somebody's like, fuck these watermelon. Newport Beach is for the whites.
cases of drinks out into the street, leaving behind a huge mess.
Everyone's just throwing fireworks up in the air, everybody running, and then SWAT team came out, cops, everybody's like in a surrounded area.
More than 350 Newport Beach officers, along with 17 regional law enforcement agencies, were brought in to help disperse the crowd.
There was a bunch of cops everywhere, blocking everywhere, and we're like, we don't know where to go at this point.
Lana Stevens says she and her friends got caught up in the mayhem and ended up among the more than 400 people arrested.
So they put us in zip ties and they split up boys and girls, and then they put us in a van.
The city's public...
They put us in vans. Which one were you on? The boys or the girls? So that's the quote we read from the other CBS News thing.
Works team, along with neighbors, spent the morning cleaning up the mess. Neighbors came out to help too, taking pride in their city after it was left in shambles. Many say this is not how Newport Beach celebrates and that things went too far.
It just kind of ruined what was supposed to be a fun night.
And the mayor is saying the officer hit by the mortar is okay. She also credits this swift law enforcement to months and months of...
Yeah, I've been hit with fireworks. They're all right.
Planning and preparation.
It ain't too
and
bad.
Says the city will most definitely be circling this week to figure out how to prevent this from ever happening again.
Well, curfew, lock them all up. Long time. Keep them in there for a year. And then they won't be able to do this next year. A year and a month. They get out next year after 4th of July. And then we'll see what our statistics look like next year. And maybe we'll let them out. Anyway, that's it for that story. Trouble on the 4th. Sucks for them. They're going to jail. Oh, wait, wrong one. I wanted this one. Wah, wah, wah. All right, what else do we have? We're going to do this skyscraper scaling couple. Now, I didn't know this until this morning, but apparently these two people were in a Netflix documentary about climbing buildings. So you can't be having these building climbers just walking around. One day they might just jump out and climb a building. So this couple, this Russian couple, we got this Russian couple. They white. They scale a skyscraper because you know damn well ain't no black couple scaling a skyscraper. Ain't no Chinese people scaling a skyscraper. That's white people shit. They climbed the Empire State Building. I think they said that an employee or somebody left a maintenance hatch open and they were able to access the antenna area of the Empire State Building and climb to the top of the thing looking like Antifa members, but they had a message of peace, guys. They had a message of peace. And somebody said, isn't it nice that we have people in black masks who are sharing a message of peace rather than a message of hatred and destruction? Like Antifa, you mean? Oh, you realize that they're breaking the law to show some peace flag. This is Antifa behavior. Antifa thought that their message was a message of peace. During every ICE protest, every BLM protest, they think that they're sharing a message of peace and they're breaking the law to push forth their message of peace. That's the same thing this couple's doing, breaking the freaking law to put up a gay flag that nobody can read from anywhere. If it wasn't for this helicopter, their message would not be able to be read from the ground. Don't tell me it's to spread a message of peace. It's because you wanted to climb a freaking tower. And then the dude proposed. That was pretty gangster. But I'm not going to act like these are some they're heroes of freedom and peace. They had a message of peace. What's it say? When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace. Gay. That's all I have to say about that. You're still breaking the law, asshole. That's Antifa behavior. Look. No audio? AP's not giving us any audio. I don't know why there's no audio on this clip, but there's them at the top of the tower. When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace. Wow. That's deep. Dude, look at they're hanging on that little pole. Dude, I would not trust that thing to be holding on to it like that. That is crazy, though. I give them credit. It's kind of gangster. But still, you can't just be climbing skyscraper towers. People are going to think that that's just something we can do. A skyscraper scaling daredevil told police that he and his girlfriend climbed the Empire State Buildings and unfurled a banner about love and peace. He wanted to do something special for their engagement. Thursday at the couple's arraignments on felony
for type 2 diabetes.
What the heck?
This is not a game.
Sorry, ignore that. The couple who go by Angela Nicolau and Ivan Birkus said little as they left court, though Birkus responded to a journalist's question about the stunt by saying, "We believe in love," and breaking the law. Authorities said the two, who are subject of the 2024 Netflix documentary Skywalkers of Love Story about their roof-topping exploits and budding romance, created not only a spectacle but a danger by ascending the famed skyscraper's broadcast antenna on Wednesday. After reaching 1,454 feet above Midtown Manhattan, the climbers displayed a black banner reading, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." Wow. Then they collected the banner, descended to a lower ledge where an apparent successful marriage proposal unfolded. Nikolai posted images of the escape on her social media accounts, including a photo that modeled an engagement-style ring above a bird's-eye view of Manhattan. Let's see this. There's intense music here. This is when he's proposing. Aw, it's going to be an Antifa wedding, a Russian Tifa wedding. Unfortunately, when we ended communism in the USSR, we got a lot of anarchists and anti-fascists who fled from Germany and Europe and USSR, and they came to America, and they brought all that anarchy bullcrap with them. Wow. We are engaged, the climber reportedly told the approaching officers. So they climbed up, but there's new details emerge. Daredevil couple who climbed to the top of the Empire State Building on Wednesday allegedly slept inside the skyscraper the night before in secret and appeared to have broken through a door to get to the antenna. So we have some B&E sources with knowledge of the investigation told ABC News Thursday. Officers could not initially go up to the couple during the stunt, which is ended with one of the climbers proposing to the other because they had to power the antenna down for safety, investigators said. So there was no antenna action. Oh, this is the lawyer talking. Okay, this is what I wanted you to hear.
It's a message of love, all right?
Well, they took falling in love almost literally. The two Daredevil climbers released from custody today after appearing in court in New York City. Angelina Nicolaou and Ivan Kuznetsov now on supervised release, facing multiple charges after scaling to the very top of the Empire State Building yesterday and turning one of the most iconic landmarks into the backdrop for a marriage proposal. The Lovebirds did not enter a plea today and are now expected to be back before the judge in August and outside court while their defense attorney criticized the case for being overcharged.
As far as what I've seen, and I'm sure you've all seen, it was a message of love, all right? And, you know, that's a nice thing. Now, but on the other hand, you know, the law is the law, right? So we're going to deal with this case, but I will say, you know, it's nice to have somebody wearing black masks doing a message of peace instead of a message of destruction and war.
I don't know. All the people that wear black masks that burn down buildings and do riots and light police cars on fire and broke store windows, they thought they had a message of peace too. Black Lives Matter. Stop ICE. They think that is a message of love, and they break the law to push their message of love, which is the same thing these anarchists did. Lock them up. We don't need any Russian skyscraper climbers in America. That's what I say. That's my take. Lock them up. JS just mad they did not promote his stream. Super lame, you lame, super lame, lame. Who's lame? What am I lame? You guys are saying this is the wrong take? What do you guys say? It's lame that they did it, or it's lame that I'm saying that they're criminals and they should still be locked up? Who's lame here? Who's the lame one? Am I the lame one? For my next trick, I will scale the International Space Station. Me, I'm lame. Why am I lame? What are you, Antifa fans? What are you fans of? Oh, we wear black masks and we break the law and we talk about world peace. This is some hippie gobbledygook. That's some hippie bullshit. They're criminals, but not Antifa. Man, they're Russian. They're wearing black masks. They have a sign that says, "Love, make love, not war." A big black flag that says "Make love, not war" as they commandeer a building illegally. That's Antifa behavior. Maybe they're not Antifa, but that's Antifa behavior. That's anarchist behavior. At the least. Maybe not Antifa, but it's at least anarcho behavior. And I don't like it. Couple faces charges. I don't think we need to watch this. I think they talked to the... Oh, but there is some extra footage here.
Just climb to the top of the Empire State Building.
The control tower. Take a listen.
Two geniuses.
Two geniuses climb to the top of the Empire State Building, to the top of the spire.
It's not some worker changing a light, is it?
Nah, it's a male, female, dressed in black. They had some flag they were waving.
I'm okay.
Some gay-ass flag about make love, not war.
With the New York accents and everything, Sam.
Some say geniuses, some say artists. You can see the moment police took the couple into custody after climbing all the way up there to meet them.
NBC News correspondent Valerie Castro is following the very latest for us. So, Val, the criminal complaint says that the couple actually stayed overnight in a restricted area, obviously trespassing there.
You don't support your ride or dies? No, I don't support hippie criminals, Marilyn. No. Nope, sorry. Nope. If they did it right, they get paid $10K to change that light bulb. Dude, how do I get that job? I heard about that. The guy that changes the bulb at the top of the towers gets like $10,000 every 4 months when he climbs up there and does it. Shoot. Give me that job. I want that job.
State building. What are the charges they're now facing? Well, Vicky, they actually spent the night in police custody. And as you saw in that video when they were released.
One of my least favorite things to see is people falling from extreme heights. So arrest them for making me feel uncomfortable. I don't mind seeing people fall from extreme heights. I just like the sudden abrupt ending where they explode. That's the part I don't like.
After their court appearance earlier today, they were still wearing what appeared to be those black outfits that they were wearing when they climbed to the top of the Empire State Building. The couple is now facing identical charges in this case, including felony burglary, reckless endangerment.
Clayton Gordon, thank you for the $1.
And criminal mischief. Their attorney also spoke out.
Oh, wait, I want to hear the charges. Criminal mischief can be a felony. Trespassing. Do they get some sort of breaking like kind of a breaking and entering charge for breaking the door?
Building. The couple is now facing identical charges in this case, including felony burglary,
Burglary, yeah. The burglary is for breaking the door.
And criminal
Reckless endangerment and criminal mischief. I guess if they fell off the roof, they might have landed on somebody. That would have sucked. So yeah, reckless. That makes sense. If the door had been left unlocked, then I don't think it would be burglary. It would just be trespassing. But since they had to break the door, that's like quote unquote B&E, but it's burglary.
Mischief. Their attorney also spoke out after their court appearance today. He says that they are innocent until proven guilty. He says it's still very early in this to really comment on the charges in this case, but he was asked about their possible motivations in doing all of this. We know they were holding up that black banner.
You've done it before. 8 hours of pure core strength of climbing and nowhere to rest. It don't take 8 hours to climb to the top of a tower. Climb faster.
With a message about love and peace. Take a listen to what he had to say about that.
It was a message of love, all right?
I already saw this guy. Okay. All right. I think that's all I got on that. That's all I got on that story. Connor's going to win second round KO. Darstevo, $5. Thank you, sir. Connor's going to win second round KO. I disagree, buddy. I think it's going to go the full 5 rounds. And at the end, Max is going to point to the middle. And Connor's going to be like, hold on. Proper number 12. I don't know, Max. I don't want to go in the middle, Max. I'm tired. Come on, man. Get in the middle, man. On most, there is no elevator to get you 80% of the way up. It's just pure climb. We used to climb those electrical towers for fun when I was a kid. I didn't get paid nothing. We just climbed them. So to be fair, I've done some of a little bit of what I never did it on top of a skyscraper, but I have illegally climbed some towers in my life. I like climbing high objects and stuff. But you know, I didn't get caught. Not 1,500 feet. I never climbed one that was 1,500 feet. No. Before we look at this Tyler Robinson case, let's watch this real quick. This just popped up on my thing. Some of these drone shows are getting kind of crazy. I know I've mocked them before, but they're getting pretty crazy with these drone shows. This one looks kind of cool. Let's check out this 2,500 drones 4th of July show for America's 250th. I'm still a firework fan, and I don't like how they're making us get rid of fireworks. It's in our national anthem. The bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Now we got drones flying in air. They don't give any proof through the night. Let's see this drone show, though.
Celebrate America's 250th birthday. We're going to fly 2,500 drones tonight. This is the largest 4th of July display that has ever happened. We're so excited to be celebrating communities all over America, celebrating America 250. And tonight we're kicking it off with our largest show of the 4th of July season. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Just don't crash them into the water, guys. They don't work if you crash them into the water. Oh, so I guess they did some fireworks too. That's cool. If you could mix fireworks and drones, that would be epic. And then sometimes the drones get hit with the fireworks and fall out of the sky. That would be awesome. That's crazy. Wait, they just threw a drone, they just flew a drone through the drones. Did you see that shot? They had a drone flying. How come it didn't interfere with the signals or something? That's pretty cool. But just so you guys know, this is how Jesus is going to appear in the sky and tell us all to join one world religion, the new Christianity. And he's going to be the Antichrist. It's going to be a sign of the end times. If there's ever Jesus talking to you in the sky, guys, don't fall for it. It's either drones or holograms. That's creepy. I want USA. You say I want you for the American Army or I want you for the U.S. Army? I just want USA. Now Uncle Sam just wants USA. Look, they did it. Dude, they just shot fireworks at the drone plane. How did they make sure that the drones don't get hit with the fireworks? I guess the fireworks stay low. But that would have been crazy if one of these planes got hit with a firework and went... Crazy world we live in where we got freaking little personal drone crafts flying around in the sky doing laser light shows. Space! Bitch, I told you we went to the moon. We got drone rockets. Oh, did you see? Wait, how did they do that? How did they do that? Some of the drones must have had sparklers on them. The fireworks shoots. Watch this. So the fireworks go off. Now, I'm guessing they're either behind or it looks like the fireworks are going through the drones, but they must be set up behind because they don't want the fireworks to hit the drones. But then this bottom layer of drones must have sparklers on them. That is pretty cool. Yeah, they got sparkler drones. Dude, I want to make one of those. You think it voids my warranty of my new drone if I attach fireworks to it? Maybe I'm high, but that shit is awesome. That is pretty awesome. I've been a hater for a long time, but they're getting pretty good at it. I have yet to see one of these in person because I'm anti this. I'm pro fireworks, but combining the drones with the fireworks, I'm on board. This is pretty neat. What? Who are we shaking hands with on the moon? Who is this guy? I don't understand what this represents. Who's Red Space? Is that the new space traveler? Oh, that's like the Artemis cruise. This looks like somebody from the Artemis crew. And this is the old, and they're saying, the old and the young, we're going back to the moon, boys. For some of you, we're going to the moon, boys. The gold bar's right there. The dono gold bar's right there. You want another goal? Here's another goal. I should have started it at the beginning. So it's only 2 hours, 10 super chats, any amount, all the colors. We win. The goal, if we beat the goal, we win. We need 10 $1 super chats. Oh shoot. Wow, what'd I do? Did you see that? They got more sparkler drones. The red, white, and blue American eagle with fire coming from his wings. This is epic. They've got sparklers shooting out of the drones. That's awesome. So whoever's flying the other drone through getting all these shots, he's got a pro. Hey. The super chat goal is on. The all these drones that are doing the lights, these are very basic drones. They just have a tracking system and a program. There's probably not even a remote control to all 2,500 of those drones. Each of those drones does not have an individual controller. It's not like there's 2,500 people sitting there flying each one of those drones. All of those drones just have light systems. Some of them have automated sparkler systems, and they have a pre-programmed flight that they take. So when they turn them on, they all just go up and they do their thing and they come down. But whoever's flying that other drone through the drones, that's like a pro drone, and that guy's probably got the headset on, and he's like, that's what I want to do. But then you need an expensive drone to do all that cool stuff. That's cool. All right. That was pretty epic. I must say. Happy 4th of July. It's over, guys. Happy White History Month. Let's freaking go. That was pretty cool. All right. Let's move on. So I've got the full preliminary hearing here. Is this still going? Oh no, but it's 8 hours long, and I don't know where all the juicy stuff is. I don't know where the juicy parts are. This is from Fox News before it happened. Accused Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson fights back as prosecutors' sprawling case comes into focus. Tyler Robinson is accused of shooting Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Wait till you see the overwhelming amount of evidence against Tyler Robinson. And people Still don't think he was the shooter. Listen, if you want to make conspiracy theorist claims that you think that there was some sort of influence or some sort of like bigger plan, and he was the patsy or whatever, and there was a bigger plan to get Charlie killed, and they met him, I can entertain that with you, but you need to concede that Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger. We can't do this shit, second shooter in the grassy knoll, or there's a guy in the water pipe, or there's an Egyptian plane flying overhead. If you want to make an argument that Tyler Robinson was MK Ultra or influenced by Mossad or whoever you want to say, okay, we can work on that. But first, let's make sure that we convict the shooter. So right now, the only suspect we have is Tyler Robinson, and I believe that he's guilty. Until I'm shown evidence otherwise, I believe he is the trigger man. He pulled the trigger. He shot the gun. He killed Charlie Kirk. He was a crazy, weird lefty guy with a furry girlfriend. It all makes sense. I can believe all that. Once he's convicted of the murder, then we can start figuring out his motives. They need to be able to attribute motive anyway during the trial. Likely, what they found is that the motive is that he's a crazy fucking lefty weirdo. That's the motive. Sometimes it's like things aren't as glorious and as fancy and crazy as we think. Sometimes it's just a crazy weirdo. We have a lot of crazy weirdos these days. Sometimes a crazy weirdo just does crazy weirdo stuff. But at least let's get him convicted before we start talking about all these crazy conspiracies. People can't wait 2 seconds because you got to be on it early. Get them clicks, right, Candace? Your friend. Now you're accusing his wife of being his murderer. You weirdo. Let's look at this. Oh, there's going to be a thing. Provo, Utah, not far from me. Tyler Robinson, the 23-year-old man accused of assassinating Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University last year, is due in court Monday for a week-long preliminary hearing that will determine whether prosecutors have enough evidence to move the case towards trial. Spoiler alert, they will find reason to move to trial throughout this pretrial. They will be going to trial, and my prediction, Tyler Robinson will be guilty, and he will be publicly executed by a firing squad, but it might not be for quite a while. That usually takes a long time. The conviction will be about 2 years from now, likely, probably, maybe a little less. I know they're trying to go quick with this, but the execution could take a long time. It could take 20 years. Shoot. I don't know what just happened. All right. So no video for this one. Defense attorneys will be able to cross-examine witnesses, but unlike an actual trial, there is a lower burden of proof. Prosecutors need to show probable cause for the charges against Robinson. They do not have to prove guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That comes at trial in front of a jury. This is just pre-trial. Charlie was a beloved husband, and Candace Owens is already going out on X saying this is just going to be a show trial. I can already tell. It's a pre-trial hearing. So yeah, it kind of is a show trial for the pre-trial. Then you have the trial. Candace, you're not that smart. You're an industry plant. You used to be a lefty. And you tricked a lot of people because you said, oh, Black Lives Matter is bad. Duh. You didn't say anything we didn't already know. That documentary came out and everybody watched it. It was like, bro, did you know any of this? I'm like, yeah, I've been talking about it on my show. Every show I watched talked about it. We've all been talking about it. What do you watch? Just the news? It's not just a drone show, but it's also a remembrance show before they go out to war to become combat drones. Yeah, okay. That's true. Charlie was a beloved husband, son, brother, friend, and father. Kirk's wife, parents, and sister said in a statement, "Every court proceeding serves as a painful reminder of his death and the loss that has irrevocably impacted our lives. Irrevocably or irrevocably? Irrevocably impacted our lives and the lives of his children. We remain deeply grateful for the support, prayers, and kindness we have received. This outpouring has sustained us during the darkest days of our lives. Out of respect for the judicial process, we will not be commenting further at this time. We ask for continued privacy as we navigate this process in immense grief." One thing I do know that they decided at this pretrial hearing, I guess, is that any exhibits or evidence shown on court TVs will not be shown to the public. And people were freaking out about that. Like, they're not going to show us any of the evidence. But I was watching it this morning, and they showed an exhibit. It was an overhead aerial photograph. They showed it on the stream. So I think they're just talking about whatever gets played on the TV in the courtroom won't get seen by the audience. But the pictures they bring up and put in front of the courtroom, you see those. You can see them. They're there. Kirk, 31-year-old father of two, was speaking at a TPUSA event in front of thousands of young people when a sniper's bullet fatally struck him in the neck. His widow and parents are expected to attend the hearing. Prosecutors have alleged that investigators found Robinson's DNA on the trigger of the suspected murder weapon, his grandfather's Mauser rifle, a towel they found wrapped around it, 3 of the 4 bullets inside, and a screwdriver recovered near the suspected rooftop sniper's perch. Digital evidence against Robinson is expected to include alleged confessions over text messages and the Discord communications app. I still think right around the corner of my house, one of the people that he was in the Discord group with lives right around the corner of my house. And I think that's why all the cops were there that day. But can't prove it. And I'm not going to go knock on the door. Those people are crazy. Police recovered the rifle in a patch of woods near the UVU campus along the suspect's escape route. Robinson is accused of sending text messages to his lover, Lance Twiggs. That's a trans person, furry trans person, about wanting to retrieve the rifle. And law enforcement sources have said he is believed to have come face to face with an officer manning the perimeter nearby. Stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet, Robinson allegedly wrote in the hours after the murder, "Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I got to grab my rifle still." Twiggs, whom Robinson allegedly left a handwritten note confessing to the crime, is cooperating with investigators and has not been charged. While the suspect's lover won't take the witness stand at the week-long preliminary hearing, prosecutors are expected to play a video of his interview with police. While Robinson's defense played up the fact the ATF was unable to conclusively match the bullet that killed Kirk to the Mauser, analysts couldn't rule it out either. They found it was a consistent caliber and recovered a spent casing that did match. Witnesses are also expected to place Robinson at the scene when he lived a 4-hour drive away in Washington, Utah. And see, here's the picture. Of course, we've thoroughly looked through all this stuff after the assassination happened. In addition to allegedly shooting Kirk, he is accused of witness tampering, committing a violent offense in the presence of a child, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, and obstruction of justice. Prosecutors have alleged Robinson targeted Kirk because of his political views, tried to conceal the rifle in the clothes he wore during the shooting, and urged Twiggs to delete incriminating messages, destroy the note, and stay silent if police questioned him. Well, that didn't work out, did you? Side sleepers get achy shoulders. If you know this side sleeper trick. I don't want to click that. That's clickbait. That's clickbait, and they almost got me. So I need to do some live research and see what main takeaways we had today. Police officer describes shooting of Charlie Kirk as prosecutors start presenting evidence in case of accused killer. Painful reminder, Charlie Kirk's family speaks as accused killer's hearing begins.
And now prosecutors are laying out their case against the 23-year-old man accused of killing Charlie Kirk. Here's a live look inside the courtroom in Provo, Utah.
Hold on.
Well, he was the conservative activist who inspired millions of young people to get involved in politics. And now prosecutors are laying out their case against the 23-year-old man accused of killing Charlie Kirk. Here's a live look inside the
And you know they hate that he was getting young people involved in politics because they were voting Republican. They were voting for the right wing. If kids were getting involved in politics and it was like Hassan or Destiny or Unfuck America influencing them, the media would eat that up. They love that. But they don't. If a guy is riling up the youth to vote for the red side, take him out. Take him out. So I see why the conspiracy theories say the things they say. It make like I see the motive for some nefarious group to have him taken out. I still believe Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger.
Courtroom in Provo, Utah, where a preliminary hearing is expected to last about 5 hours today. State prosecutors seeking the death penalty against Tyler James Robinson.
Just look at him. Just look at him. He looks like a freaking creepy weirdo that would do something weird like that.
Say that they're confident there's enough evidence for a conviction. Let's bring in our Alex Stone. He's
Yeah,
live outside
there's
the
plenty of
courthouse.
evidence.
Also, our legal analyst Brian Buckmeyer is with us. So, Alex, what's happening outside court right now?
Well, security here outside right now is extremely tight, Kira. We saw a motorcade bringing in Tyler Robinson. He is now inside court. There are sharpshooters up on the
shopping cart supremacist? Oh, yeah. Return your shopping carts or else you're a degen heathen.
rooftops. There are tactical teams that are around as well. But this is, as you mentioned, being a preliminary hearing, this is like a mini trial going on. They got going about an hour ago. They began with some procedural aspects of dealing with who's going to be able to see graphic video that they show in court, what the rules are going to be during this hearing that could go until Friday, could go all week. And now they've got their first witness on the stand, a police officer at Utah Valley University. He is beginning to talk about what went on that day. Number of law enforcement officers we know are going to be called during this hearing. But this is about showing the judge that there is enough evidence to move this to trial. Just probable cause. They don't have to prove this beyond a reasonable doubt at this level, but to show the judge, here's what we've got. Here is evidence to show that he probably committed this, and then the judge will decide if they're going to move this to trial. Erica Kirk is in court as well. She put out a statement. I want to read it for you, saying Charlie was a beloved husband, son, brother, friend, and father. Every court proceeding serves as a painful reminder of what unfolded. So a lot of emotion here in this courthouse today, Kira.
No doubt. And Brian, Tyler Robinson has not yet entered a plea. Many people are calling this a mini trial. What exactly does that mean?
It's a pre-trial. Every pre-trial is a mini trial. And he could potentially just plea out at pre-trial, but he's not gonna. He's not entering a plea. He's taking it to trial. For the case like this, you kind of have to, but he could just at pre-trial plead guilty and take a plea deal if there's anything on the table. I don't know if they have anything on the table for him.
Yeah, so Kira, it's a mini trial in the sense that this is the first time we're going to get a presentation of the.
Personally, I've been in trouble before. I've never been to a trial. I always finished everything in pre-trial because they had me dead to rights. So I just planned on I wasn't going to take it to trial. If you know you have a losing case and you waste the government's time, waste the jury's time, waste everyone's time by taking it to a trial that you know you're going to lose, they can give you a harsher sentence. They'll crank up your sentence just for wasting everybody's time. But with a case like this, where you're looking at a potential death penalty, you got to try to fight it. You got to go to trial. But generally, most big cases, they don't even get out of pretrial. That's why pretrial is like a mini trial, because most of the time that is the trial.
Evidence that the prosecution believes will lead to a conviction of Tyler Robinson. But as Alex Stone pointed out, very different level of proof that needs to be proven here in order to get that case moving from one posture to the next. We're going to hear a lot of officers testifying about what they investigated, who they spoke with, what information they had. I think the big issues are going to be DNA evidence that we heard about in terms of alleged DNA found in the trigger of the gun, as well as a towel that was wrapped around the gun. Also, we're going to see a lot of digital forensics forensics, that being messages where the shooter allegedly confessed to the crime, and then, of course, GPS tracking to see where he was and where he was supposed to be, at least 4 hours away where he would have lived, except he was in the location where they say this crime occurred. Again, trying to prove to the judge it's more likely than not or probable that he committed these crimes.
So, Brian, do you expect to hear from Tyler Robinson during this hearing?
Absolutely not. When it comes to the defense, these hearings are an opportunity for two things. One, you're either able to chip away at some of the allegations from.
Did he take a public defender? I'm not sure. Well, I think so, but it's a very expensive one. I remember we talked about this. The cost of his defense to the taxpayer in Utah is going to be something like $2.2 million. Does Tyler Robinson have a public defender? It's not just answering me yes or no. Attorney Catherine Nestor appointed in Tyler Robinson case. So he does have an appointed attorney. It is appointed, but it's Catherine Nestor. I think she's like kind of a big deal. So they didn't just give her like some garbage public pretender. Latest prosecutors. Let's just finish watching this.
The prosecution trying to show they cannot prove this case, even by a probable cause. And that's a long shot. And the defendant's testimony is not likely going to do that either in this type of case where you have so much evidence against them. But this is an opportunity to get more discovery, more information, try to test out the weaknesses and the strengths of the prosecution.
La Stranger Danger raid. Chris raided. Yo, Josh. I'm raiding in. Get raid mogged. Hey, thank you for the raid. Wait, how did I miss that comment before? I guess this happened a little while ago. Thank you for the raid. La Stranger Danger raid. What the?
Case before you ultimately get to a trial, if it does get there, or as an opportunity to some form of plea negotiation.
All right. Alex Stone, Brian Buckmeyer will be tracking this throughout the day.
Okay. Let's see. We're not going to watch the full hearing, but I want to see if there's any updates on this. The latest, prosecutors argue the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk should stand trial. I think he plans on standing trial. Robinson is charged with aggravated murder. Prosecutors are seeking to convince a state judge that they have enough evidence against him. Robinson charged with that. No major reveals in the first day of Kirk murder case hearing. There were no major revelations on Monday in what's scheduled to be a week-long hearing to determine if defendant Tyler Robinson should stand trial in last year's assassination. Prosecutors presented testimony from a former officer who said he found a sniper pad on the roof of a nearby building. They also submitted several videos of Kirk being shot, but those were not shown publicly because of their graphic nature. Erica Kirk left the courthouse. They attended the hearing. She walked straight to her car, flanked by security, and did not stop to speak to media. Court ends for the today. Shortly after the break, prosecutors requested that the court end for the day. They said they wanted to spend the evening preparing a copy of a video that they wanted to introduce into evidence. They plan to try to introduce a copy of a video that doesn't have added markings, including a blur and a circle. Earlier during the hearing, State District Judge Tony Graff declined to admit a video into evidence, in part because it had been altered. Tyler Robinson's defense team said they don't mind ending 15 minutes earlier than planned. The preliminary hearing will resume Tuesday at 9 a.m. Judge orders a 10-minute break. Doorbell video showing suspect's car, investigators say. Judge rejects a video exhibit. So because it had been edited. There were blurs and stuff. So they wouldn't accept it. So now they have to go back and they have to unedit it, or whoever edited it. State District Judge Tony Graff says he won't admit a video exhibit after the defense team raised concerns that it had been altered. and there was no one to talk about exactly what was changed. The video in question appears to consist of a variety of clips taken from different sources. It's possible the video could still be admitted later, but the prosecution team would likely have to have a witness explain exactly how it was created and where the clips originated. Attorneys debate over whether the shooting suspect can be pointed out in court. When Deputy Utah County Attorney David Sturgill asked Holt to look around the courtroom and point out the suspect he identified during his investigation, his defense team objected. Defense attorney Catherine Nestor told the judge that it would amount to unduly suggestive in court identification, violating Tyler Robinson's constitutional rights. Nestor said there was the guy's, yeah, he's that guy right there standing on the defendant stand. That's the guy. Like, we all know that that's him. But okay. Nestor said there's a lot of case law that says asking a witness to identify a defendant in a courtroom, particularly when that defendant is the only person sitting at the table with defense attorneys, is unduly suggestive, essentially tainting the identification. Yeah. Who's the guilty guy? The guy sitting at the defense table. Of course you're going to pick him. He's the only guy sitting at the defense table. I see what they're saying. The judge called attorneys on both sides up to the bench privately to discuss the matter. Investigator describes the search for the suspect. Court takes an afternoon break. Judge weighs whether to publish evidence. Meaning this was the big, I think, controversial thing of the day, is they said some evidence won't be shown to the public. Basically, some of the exhibits, some of the evidence, some of the video won't be shown to the public. That was one of the big takeaways that they had today. But this is going to keep going all week long. It's the pre-trial. Hopefully by the end of this, what ends up happening is we get a trial date set, probably for, I don't know, 3 months from now or something. But we'll see. I don't think there's a lot of other major takeaways, but see, like, so they said evidence won't be shown in court. Look, there's evidence shown in court right there. So some of the evidence, some of the exhibits will be shown in court, like this one. But videos played on the TV won't be shown, is what they said.
Challenging for her.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe we have our guest is just about ready. Jeff Metcalf. Again, I reached out to Jeff because there's very few people, especially in sort of the more recent, days and weeks and months, that could relate to what Erica's going through, and Rob and Catherine, of course, Charlie's parents, more than Jeff. And so Jeff Metcalf, Austin Metcalf's father, joins us now. Jeff, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for making the time. And I see you're wearing a beautiful shirt there, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
That's the watermelon felon guy. What's he got to do with this?
With you, it's kind of easy because I'm not talking about details of the case. I'm not talking about procedural, elements that the lawyers are throwing out there. I just want to hear from you. And I'm sure Erica and Rob and Catherine, Charlie's parents, would love to hear from you too, because you've been through something terrible and tragic and awful. And you've experienced the crazy media attention and the social media of it all. And, you were a victim because you lost your son and you had to go through hell to get.
I don't know what that has to do with.
I don't know if she's Deputy Richards.
She's a state employee.
Is that Nestor? Is that Tyler's attorney?
For the forensic lab.
So Ms. Richards.
Melissa.
She is the one who took those nighttime pictures of the stuff on the roof.
Yes.
And you testified that she told you that was what they looked like that day?
Yes.
When did you meet with her?
I talked to her on the phone. It was several weeks ago in preparation for the trial.
So prior to a couple of weeks ago, you never discussed those pictures with her?
Yeah, because I'd never seen them.
Oh, so a couple of weeks ago is the first time you saw them?
Yeah.
Right. And did you write any kind of supplement to your report, to add on to your report, other than what we've gone through today, that one report you wrote. Have you ever written?
Anyway, I'll keep you guys updated on it. Not a lot of crazy updates today. But we'll see what happens here in the future. And I think that's all I have for the main story news. Okay. What did I need to talk to Easy about setting up a Swords of Reason with me and Vigilante, I guess. But I told Vigilante 2 weeks from now, and then I realized we're all going to be in DebateCon in 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks will be the 20th. And that week, I doubt anybody's going to want to be doing, because that means that's the last week we got to get ready to go. I don't know. I don't know if we'll be doing a Swords of Reason 2 days before DebateCon, but maybe. We'll have to work this out a little more. But let me see. Where's my reels and rapid fire folder? Okay. All right, we got some funny reels. A lot of 4th of July reels. But this one is not a 4th of July one. Have you guys ever heard of car jitsu? I don't know if this is real. I think it is. But this is car jitsu. If you've never heard of car jitsu, neither have I until I saw this short. And I think this is a real event they do. This, ladies and gentlemen, is car jitsu.
And we're off. Immediately, Steven Minsky reaches over and blocks the seatbelt escape of Jesse Nutting. Now, Jesse's in a bad spot here. He's stuck in the passenger seat with Steven Minsky just slowly knee on belly over to mount.
He's out.
And he chokes him out with the seatbelt. Oh, my God.
The seatbelt darce.
The
Steven, my seatbelt
across
choke.
the throat. He got him with an Ezekiel choke using the seatbelt.
It's the seatbelt Ezekiel choke. What?
And Jesse Nutting almost went.
Steven.
He went unconscious. Let's take a look.
Almost. He was sleeping. That man fell asleep. And the ref took a little while to get him off his neck.
Look here. This might be the end of the fight.
What is car jitsu? Now I kind of want to search and see if there's more car jitsu. That's crazy. Car jitsu. Dude, I want to be a car jitsu guy. That's wild. All right, we got some 4th of July stuff. Guys with fireworks strapped to their chest? Yeah. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. That's so crazy. If that's not American, I don't know what is. What's this one? Oh, I hate this stupid saxophone music. Everybody's using it in all the clips now. Look at that. The whole front porch is alight. That's crazy. Dude, the fireworks are so intense that it turned the color on the camera. Look, they're all trying to get inside. Let us in. There's no... I hate the saxophone music. That's crazy. Don't do fireworks next to your whole stash of fireworks. Don't keep all of the fireworks piled right around the fireworks. Because as soon as one mortar falls over, look, that's what happens. That's insane, dude. It's like an instant battlefield, the most traumatizing 4th of July on record. We had fireworks banned here in Utah, but somebody still did a couple of them. I heard a couple of them go off. What else? One more 4th of July video for you. I don't know what this is, but this is like the world's largest Roman candle. I've never seen a Roman candle this big. It just shot out of his hand. It just shot, and he was holding it too loose, and it shot straight down. That's the way thrust works, boys and girls. And it's still going. By the way, fireworks are not waterproof. You can throw fireworks into the swimming pool, and they will still explode. The fuses are not waterproof, or the fuses are waterproof. I said not waterproof. I meant they are waterproof. Throw a firework in the swimming pool, it'll still work. So the thing fell in the pool, and now it's shooting at the house, and I think it just broke their sliding glass door out, and they're going to go down to the living room, and there's explosions in the living room now because the thing is pointed straight at the back sliding glass door. So yeah, I think it's boom. What just happened? I gotta catch all of this. All right, and that's the 4th of July. All right. What's chat talking about? I need to get off the internet. I've seen all of these. I hate that it took that long to open the door. I know, they were trapped out on that front porch forever. All right. That's all my funny reels I got for you. We got some rapid fire news. Pretty girl. This is a pretty girl, right? She's pretty. You know, she's not a dime. She's pretty, but she got eaten by an alligator in Florida, and she's from California. This is why Californians should not be going to Florida. You're not ready for dinosaurs. You weren't built for this. Okay? Florida men are built to handle dinosaurs. If that bitch would have bit me, I would have wrestled his ass and taken him out. But this little girl, California, she never fought a dinosaur before. She doesn't know what to do. A California woman died after she was bitten by an alligator on a hike in Florida, wildlife officials said. Last Sunday, Brittany Clark, 31, her boyfriend and friend were hiking in Little Big Econ State Forest, a 5,000-acre park near Orlando. While hiking a trail, they took a break to swim in the Econlocache River. Clark was about in 3 feet of water when she was grabbed by an alligator, which bit both her arms. Her boyfriend was the one that made the phone call for help. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission spokesperson Chad Weber said in a news conference Monday he was trying to get her from the alligator's mouth. When first responders arrived, Clark was badly wounded. She died en route to the hospital. Clark graduated from John F. Kennedy High School in Sacramento. She was living in Orlando, working in a construction company that does road projects throughout the state. She loved her job where she operated a bulldozer, running a dirt crew, and loved going out on the water every chance she could. Never in a million years would we have seen this nightmare come about. She loved going in the water every chance she could until she got eaten by the alligator. Irony? I don't know. Florida wildlife officials caught 2 alligators in the area of the attack, a 13-foot and a 12-foot. They were both euthanized, and tests are being done to determine if one was responsible for the attack. Okay, if it's a 12 or 13-foot gator, you ain't winning that fight. I'm not winning that fight. That thing would take me out. But usually a 13-foot gator ain't just like hiding somewhere. They're big. You see them. Cut us some slack, man. Oof. 13-foot gator's big as hell, boy.
Learning more now about a deadly alligator attack in Central Florida. Learning more.
If it's a 5-foot gator, 6-foot gator, you got a chance. Well, she's a tiny girl, so she doesn't have a chance. But if it's a 5-foot gator and it bites on me, I could fight that. I could fight that guy. But a 12 or 13-foot gator, you are not winning that fight with that dinosaur on that day.
More now about a deadly alligator attack in Central Florida. A 31-year-old woman went for a swim with friends Sunday at a state park near Orlando when the alligator attacked. The woman later died on the way to the hospital. Here's the 911 call from Seminole County Fire and EMS.
Why would you go swimming in that? That looks like, what are you on the African Serengeti? Look like a dang crocodile's waiting in there.
Somebody got bit by a gator.
Bad, real bad, please, hurry.
Both her arms are bitten. Are off, like basically.
This is Florida's third alligator.
Both her arms are bitten? No, they're gone. Bubba, I can't feel my legs. That's because they ain't there.
Attack in a week. Just yesterday, we told you about a deadly crocodile attack.
8-year-old boy bitten, 19-year-old snorkeler bitten, 31-year-old woman killed. What are the alligators? Alligators in Florida are pissed. What is happening? This is not a common thing. It's all these tourists.
In Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. NBC's Liz Kreutz is joining us now. And Liz, what more do we know about this recent attack in
Yo, don't come to Florida if you ain't ready to deal with a dinosaur.
Florida and the state's response?
Yeah, hey, Tom. I mean, this is a horrifying attack.
What do you call a criminal in a criminal crocodile in a vest? A criminal investigator. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Also, a crocodile is not a gator.
And the 911 call is really hard to
Yeah, that
listen
was a bad
to.
joke.
We have just gotten from officials, they've identified the victim. She's 31-year-old Brittany Clark. And according to officials, she was hiking with her boyfriend and her best friend on Sunday in a state park outside of Orlando.
Yeah, but she's tiny. Pretty girl, but she's tiny. She ain't got no business going in alligator-infested waters. And if it's a 12 or 13-foot gator like the two they euthanized, imagine if you're the 12-foot gator and you didn't even do anything and you just got euthanized. But they said they euthanized a 12-foot gator and a 13-foot gator in the area, and now they're going to pump their stomachs to see if there's any arms in there.
During the hike, they decided to stop for a quick sort of swim in a shallow river about 3 feet deep. And that is when the alligator struck. As you heard in that 911 call, the alligator bit both of her arms. Take a listen to some more of that call.
So she was bitten.
Dude, they probably, like, that's uncommon. They probably got into the water, and that was like the nest. That was like mama's nest. And you're stepping all over her eggs and stuff. Because you don't know that what looks like an area where there's no, because there's probably, weeds and growth and tall grass and stuff all around that riverbed to where you have to like go through tall stuff to get to the water. But if you see an area where it's like, it looks like a nice little beach. Oh, there's no weeds growing up. There's no tall grass here. There's sand. It's like a little beach. So that's where we're going to get into the water. Well, the reason that area looks like a little beach is because there's a 12-foot alligator that lives there that's constantly there digging up all the weeds and stuff and making a nice little nest. That's an alligator nest. And when you step in the water there, there's eggs under the sand and you're stepping on them. And mama's not going to like it.
On both of her arms, the boyfriend was the one that made the phone call. He was trying to get her from the alligator's mouth. And on the way to the hospital, she did pass away from her injuries.
Sad.
And of course, that was actually the
No signs, private property. Well, they were on a 5,000 square mile national park. So that it's just like open wilderness with trails. So when you're walking on those trails, there's not going to be signs all over the place saying watch out for alligator. There's probably signs at the beginning of the trail that says watch out for alligators. I don't know, but it is sad. I think the moral of the story here is don't mess around in Florida if you never dealt with a dinosaur before. because we got those on deck.
Police there talking about the incident. She ended up dying on her way to the hospital because of those injuries. And officials did actually capture two massive alligators, 12 and 13 feet, that they're now trying to determine which one was the one that attacked. Tom.
Terrific. Liz, thank you very much.
Damn, nature, you scary. What is that from? That's so funny. What is that from? Damn, nature, you scary.
Very much. You know, what are we hearing from the boyfriend? I understand that you've actually heard something from his perspective.
Yeah, we did just get a statement from the boyfriend, the one who called 911. He put out a statement.
His perspective is horrible. He watched his girlfriend bleed to death after she got her arms bit off by an alligator.
To us saying she was an amazing and caring person. She didn't deserve to go out in such a way. She was the strongest and most outgoing person I've ever met in my 30 years of life, and said that they never in a million
Alligator didn't like the nose ring.
years would have expected this nightmare. And we should point out, Tom, that this
Family
is
Guy.
breeding season for alligators.
Nature, you scary. Damn, nature, you scary.
Oh, okay. Something to watch for. Liz, thank you very much. We thank you for watching.
Damn, nature, you scary. Now it's going to be stuck in my head. What do we got here? Oh, this is the same thing, but this is body cam footage. I haven't watched this yet.
Camera video just released tonight of that deadly alligator attack in Seminole County, Florida. A woman killed when that alligator attacked, biting.
You see? Look what I told you. Look. Okay, you'll see it here in a second.
Both arms. Victor Akenda with the video tonight that shows that urgent effort.
It's exactly what I thought it was. The only area that looked like a nice beach is where they got into the water. And the only area that looks like a nice beach because that's where Mama Gator lives.
To try to save her.
Tonight,
see how overgrown it is
body
and
camera
dense?
video shows deputies racing to the scene of that deadly alligator attack in Central.
And then, now this is not a trail. You can tell he's not on an open trail, but it almost seems like there's a path. Through the dense brush, it seems like there's a path on the ground. That path is from the gator. And this beach is from the gator.
Central Florida.
Where are we?
A woman swimming in 3 feet of water, horrifically injured.
It's that.
Officials say 31-year-old Brittany Clark was bitten on both arms Sunday at Little Big Econ State Forest outside Orlando. Her boyfriend calling 911.
Real bad, please, hurry. We need to stop the blood.
Friends prying Clark from the alligator's mouth, then bringing her to shore.
Where'd the gator go? The gator just left?
She later died at the hospital. The attack, the third one in Central Florida in 1 week. On a GoFundMe page, Clark's family calling her an amazing and fun-loving soul, adding, "Please pray for our family as we navigate through this tragic journey."
David,
I wonder if, did he try to like tourniquet it or anything?
as officials investigate, samples were taken from 2 alligators that were captured and killed near the site of the attack. David?
Just a horrific scene. Victor, thank you. With a
wasn't
to a disturbing.
Wasn't a whole lot of new footage there. Anyway, sad story. I'm not, I don't like usually just cover like random deaths and stuff. It's not about that. But to me, it was an interesting story because I'm from Florida. We didn't have a lot of alligator attacks. Every now and then you'd hear like a kid got taken, eaten up, or a little dog or something. But there's been like 3 recently. The alligators are not happy with something. Let's move on, finish up this rapid fire. Guys, Dragon Ball Lego set. We've been talking a lot about Legos lately with the Reckless Ben situation. We've got the first ever official Dragon Ball Lego set coming in November. 2,100 pieces. That means that's a huge set. That means this is going to be big. And I don't know if this is the real picture because I saw another picture that looks slightly different. This might just be a concept. There are other pictures of it where it looks a little different. But it's basically going to be a Shenron diorama. And there's a Goku minifig, which is going to be the first ever official Goku minifig. I don't think these pictures are real. The other pictures I seen looked cooler. Like Goku doesn't really look like Goku here. But anyway, 2,870 pieces? No. See, I don't think this is right. I don't think this website is right. But this is from multiple websites. I Googled it. It's true. It's not fake news. November it's releasing. I heard it had 2,100 pieces with one minifig Goku character. This is saying it has 2,870 pieces and 5 characters. But it's the 40th year anniversary set. Dragon Ball and Lego. First time they've ever officially collaborated. There's 7 crystal Dragon Ball pieces, which are unique Lego pieces, exclusive, unique Dragon Ball Lego pieces, never been released. This is going to be a collectible set. I almost want to buy 2 sets, and I want to keep one in the box put away, and then I want to put one together. But it's going to be $200 in November. $200 for 2,100 pieces is very good piece price ratio. If it's 2,870 pieces, there's no way it's $200. Usually it's like 10 pieces $1. So if it's 600 pieces, it'll be $60. If it's 1,000 pieces, it'll be like around $100. 2,000 pieces, $200. 2,870 pieces for $200 would be crazy. I don't know if this, but this is from Lego. So maybe this is real. This is the Lego website. So maybe this is the real one. Maybe the other one I saw was fake. This also doesn't have a price though. Anyway, I'm excited. Very excited. Next. Tennessee University to pay professor, since we were talking about Charlie Kirk earlier, $1.9 million after calling Charlie Kirk a disgusting psychopath. So I guess this is after Charlie's death. Remember everybody who was cheering on his death, people were losing their jobs and stuff. Professors were getting fired from their job for making posts talking crap about Charlie. And we had a conversation then about like, are we doing the same thing the left does? Are we canceling people from their jobs because they said they made a joke about somebody and we don't like it? We think it's a bad joke. Should they be losing their jobs? Should you be calling their work and getting them fired? Isn't that like a leftist tactic? Well, turns out that is backfiring on the people who did that. The people that called and got these professors to lose their job. You just got that professor paid $1.9 million. If I'm understanding this correctly, let me read it. University of Tennessee professor will receive $1.9 million to settle a lawsuit accusing the school of violating her constitutional rights after officials sought to discipline her over social media posts criticizing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. So, yeah, it's what I thought it was. This crazy lefty teachers who were talking shit about Charlie, getting fired from their job and stuff. Now they're getting paid millions of dollars. So, I mean, was that smart to fire her from her job? Because she said the world is better off without him in it, and added his kids. Oh, what a horrible woman. His kids are better off living in a world without a disgusting psychopath like him and his wife. Well, she's a sick F for marrying him, so I don't care about her feelings. She later apologized and said it was insensitive and uncharacteristic of me as a person. Bullshit. That is your character. The fact that you could even think to write that after he died, that is your character. You're a crazy liberal college professor, crazy Democrat woman. If I could find a way to lock you up for something, I would do it. But this is what happens when we play the left's games. They still win. So this lady still wins. She's still walking. She got to talk crap about Charlie. Then she gets to basically leave her job and make enough money to live the rest of her life without working. That's what we did by canceling her. And I don't know how it's words. I know it's free speech, but This does seem like to me like fighting words. If you say this about a man and his family, maybe this lady deserves to get punched in the mouth by somebody. She doesn't deserve $1.9 million, and that's what she's going to get. So that sucks. We talked about this on Saturday. I just want to play it again so you guys get to see. If you missed it on Friday or Saturday, we got to watch. Who thinks this is AI and fake? Oh, and by the way, I did more research, King. I don't know if you were trolling me or if you were serious, but those are fake abs. Ellen Page's abs are fake. There was a whole story, and I totally forgot about this when we were talking about when she got the abs put in. Those are fake abs. King was like, no, she's got lady abs. She's been working harder than she ever has in her life for this. This is her dream. I think he might have been trolling me, though. But these are fake abs. It looks like AI. She's not even hitting the pool noodles. Who does fight training with pool noodles? You lame. Sorry, guys. AI 100%. And the ribs, the abs are fake. It's because it's a university and not a private company. The lawsuit with that lady, probably something like that. So there's Elliot Page. We don't want a dead name here. We're not bullies. Elliot Page about to fight Mike Tyson at the next Brand Risk boxing meeting. Dude, I hope they get Elliot Page in Brand Risk. That would be so funny. Could you imagine Aiden Ross, Charleston White, Tekashi 6ix9ine announcing for Elliot Page versus I don't know, Super Hot Fire or whatever his name is? Adam 22 versus Elliot Page. Dude, we got to see Elliot in Brand Risk. That would be awesome. Russia's missile and drone attacks on Ukraine kill at least 22. Last little update here. Remember, it looked like Ukraine was pulling ahead. Looked like Ukraine had it in the bag. It was looking pretty scary. Ukraine was bombing St. Petersburg and Moscow. Well, maybe not. Russia decided, fuck you, Ukraine. I will attack Ukraine with all that we have. Every missile. Russia's missile and drone attacks on Ukraine kill at least 22. They sent a big attack. Russia unleashed waves of missiles and drones at Ukraine early Monday, killing at least 22 people in attacks that exposed widening gaps in the country's air defenses more than 4 years into Moscow's full-scale invasion. It doesn't even make sense. All of the ballistic missiles launched by Russia struck their targets, underscoring Kiev's need for more U.S.-made Patriot interceptor missiles. Of course, we got to send them more missiles. A point Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will likely reiterate at a NATO summit in Ankara, Turkey, this week. 15 people were killed in the capital, Kiev, which was Russia's main target, and 56 were injured, according to administrative head Timur Kachenko. Another 7 people were killed in the wider Kiev region, and 29 were injured, according to Ukraine's emergency services. Emergency workers searched for survivors in the rubble of a residential high-rise in 2 locations that suffered direct hits. So,
усіх людей.
Yes.
Як бахне, почав дом валитися.
Belgium 4, USA 1. No! USA's losing the volleyball game?
Це все падать, усе. Почала вода бігти, дим. Ми нас ДСНС виводили усіх людей. І воно потім повторно знову бахнуло. І оце 2 години перший, а в другий тоді пізніше. Ну, він не пізніше, минут 5.
I couldn't understand anything that lady just said, and I wasn't reading the captions. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Back to hating soccer. I never liked soccer in the first place. Who's playing? Who's playing soccer? You're talking about a volleyball game. Back to hating soccer. Does that mean that it's over? U.S. is out of the World Cup now? Or is it like double elimination? How's it work? Points? Are we done? Is it over? Are we done? Is it over? Do we not need to think about soccer anymore? I never thought about it anyway. I don't care about soccer. All right. For the last little while here, we actually have a closing segment for you guys. It's been a while since I had a little closing segment at the end. See you in 4 years. Yes, USA is out. Oh. All right, guys. For this last little segment here, the reason I should have talked about this in LGBTQ month. This isn't necessarily just an LGBTQ thing, but they are the main proponents of this idea. And I had heard rumblings about this on the internet, from the TikTok world, but I went pretty deep into it. I watched like a 3-hour podcast on it when I was prepping for my debate with Ward War, which was about therapy culture making people weaker. And in researching therapy culture, one thing I stumbled upon is this idea of going no contact or chosen family. It's the chosen family phenomenon, or going no contact. And it's all these kids that are over therapized their whole life. They're put on meds. They're weird LGBTQ kids. The social media, the TikTok, this new idea has come up in these communities of these young mentally ill people that they don't need. Their true family is not the woman who they passed through her birth canal. They don't care about that lady. It's not the dad who did his best to raise their dumbass. Their family is whoever they choose. And so what they do is they go no contact. Voluntarily going no contact is what they call it. They go no contact from their family, which means they don't talk to their parents. They don't call their parents, which I don't call my family as much as I should. But I still, they can see me here. They know where I'm at. They can see that I'm okay. If I stopped streaming and didn't call them, they would know something's wrong. But they know how I'm doing. I text, my mom and my brothers and stuff, and I call my mom every now and then. But this is different. This is no talking, no texting. I lose your number. I leave your house. I never talk to you again. No contact with my family, and I'm going to move in with my chosen family. And usually these are LGBT people, and usually there's some weird ass chosen families. It's like the daughter's like 20 years old. The mom is like 25. The dad is like 26. There's like 3 moms and a dad and a furry. They don't have a pet dog. They have like a furry that runs around the house. And they make these weird freaking chosen families. So that's what we're talking about. Chosen family, also called found family or family of choice, refers to a group of people intentionally brought into your life to play significant family roles. These bonds rely on mutual love, support, and emotional safety, rather than biological ties or legal paperwork. This is the AI overview, and they're referencing me to Healthline. When you pull this up, you'll see it all seems positive. Like Wikipedia, look, it's all LGBT stuff. While anyone can form a chosen family, the concept is deeply rooted in the LGBT low IQ, STD, LOL, WTF community. Historically, many queer individuals faced rejection or ostracization from their biological families and created alternative kinship networks to survive and thrive, because it's not a real family, by the way. Today, it remains an essential framework for emotional resilience, community care, and belonging. And so, see, these are like some of the websites pushing these ideas. Healthline.com. Look at the picture we have here. A found or chosen family. So you already read this from Google, but the chosen family. Where did the term originate? Nobody seems to know, but the concept has existed for a long time. Bayahaya Maroon, PhD, said, for people of color, there's a long history of children finding new parents when their biological parents were enslaved or killed. Oh, so if you have a nuclear family, if you have a mother and a father and children, that's racist. Okay? That's racist because some kids, because of slavery, some young black kids don't get to choose who their mother and father are. Wait. Does anybody get to choose who their mother and father are? I didn't get to choose. I don't think anybody gets to choose that, whether you were enslaved or not. Y'all missed the acronyms? Chosen families are far less prescribed than the standard dictionary definition of the word family. Some chosen families posit someone in the mother role, someone in the father role, and others in the sibling role. And then the pet role, the second dad role, the second mom role. Maroon, for example, shares that she has a chosen mother, chosen brother, and chosen sisters, whom she calls her gift mother and gift siblings. I wanted someone to send flowers to on Mother's Day, and I wanted a brother to exchange that brother-sister bond with. This is so fucking weird. What is a chosen family? How trans and queer people build belonging. Chosen family means love by choice. Explore how trans and LGBT, low IQ, STD, WTF, LOL people create care networks that help us survive and thrive together. Tommy had his apartment invaded. Tommy. That Tommy. You know him, Seahawk Daddy? It's like the opposite of a humane society. Instead of you picking the animal picks you. Ugh. Here, we'll read more. I have Wikipedia here, and then I want to read a little bit of this. But first, let me just show you some examples of this on TikTok.
When you're in no contact with your family, it gets really awkward when someone reaches out. I have a whole series on here about how I'm the oldest of 11. I don't talk to any of my siblings. Well, my brother reached out.
So you're a piece of shit human being. Why? Because they're Trump supporters? Let me guess. Usually because this started as an LGBT low IQ phenomenon, but it's become, now it's like, now liberal, over-therapized liberal white women are doing it a lot because their parents are radical extremists and racists and Trump supporters. So that's why the people leave their family and they find a chosen family. Because their parents are Trump supporters? And you're a retarded kid?
And he said that he wanted to meet my kids. And I'm like, okay, cool, but I have to ask him a ton of questions.
You have kids? Why don't you just... Your kids... Hold on a second. Wait a second. You left your 11 siblings and your parents. You went no contact. You cut all them off. Because you didn't choose that family. And you should only be with the family that you choose. But you have kids. But your kids didn't choose you to be their mom. So why are you forcing that child to live with a mom who that kid didn't choose? Why don't you give your kid up for adoption? And then maybe one day they actually don't do that because the foster system is horrible. But it'd probably be better than growing up with this lady, this crazy psycho bitch. It'd probably be better because your kid didn't choose to live with you. Why don't you take your kid to the store and say, okay, pick your mommy and daddy. Just go find your new mommy and daddy because we're not your chosen family. And I don't like my biological family, so you probably aren't going to like being with me. So Go choose another family, toddler.
Before we can even plan a meetup. Like, are you in touch with mom? Are you going to tell mom where I live? Are you going to tell mom about my kids? Who's coming with you? Who all are you bringing? It's a whole thing because we're no
You're not going to let your mom ever meet her granddaughter. You need to forgive your mother and return to your father.
contact for very good reason. I'm like, hey, let me call you so I can ask all of these questions. Like, I didn't even tell.
This is why, if you're a Christian, you need to honor your parents. You need to love and forgive and honor your parents and hold no resentment to them. They did the best they could. If they could have done better, they would have done better. I don't care what sob stories you have about my dad was an alcoholic and he beat me. My mom abandoned me. I don't care. You need to honor them and respect them and love them and forgive them. As long as you hold that resentment against your mother or your father, likely your mother, but also your father, as long as you hold that resentment, you're never going to know God. You'll know about him, but you'll never know him. Shout out JLP, White History Month. If you want to be like this girl, hate your parents.
Like, I have a bunch of questions, but I got to ask questions. So we need to call first. Okay, so I call him. He was on the phone with his girlfriend, so he couldn't answer. Cool. He said he's going to call back. It's been...
Oh, Tommy in Portland. He had his apartment invaded by police or by Antifa. I know, Tommy, who you're talking about now. We have somebody in chat that comes by every now and then that I used to be in a Facebook group with named Tommy. I thought you were talking about him, but you're talking about Tommy in Portland.
days and I haven't heard back. So now I'm just like, no, not going to happen. Because I have to be picky when we're already no contact. Because by not reaching out when you said you would, you're showing me that...
Did they choose to be no contact or you chose to be no contact with them? I hope your kid does the same thing to you. As soon as your kid turns 18, I hope they never talk to you again. Actually, I don't hope that, because that's how you the cycle of perpetual degeneracy continues to grow. We need to end that cycle by forgiving our mothers, returning to our fathers, and seeking God in his right way along with nothing else, instead of fucking hating our families.
You're not going to be a consistent or reliable family member for my children. I'm not going to put an uncle in their lives who won't show up consistently. I just won't. My kids deserve consistency, and it's just something I'm not willing to...
What do you mean? You can't just... What a weird idea. You can't... Like, my uncles... I love my uncles. My uncles were like big brothers to me. But guess what? They weren't actually my big brothers. I was the big brother. My uncles weren't... I didn't have a big brother, but my uncles, when they would come over and we'd play in the pool, I got to be like the little brother. Because like when it's me and Ben and Joey, I'm slamming them in the pool. We're wrestling. We're tripping each other, just walking around, just hurting each other. And we loved it constantly. And I didn't have that because I was the biggest. I got to pick on them all the time. So it was great when my uncles would come over. They're like 7 and 10 years older than me. And now I'm like the little brother and I'm getting picked on by them. You know, it keeps me in check, but I don't need my uncles to come by every 3 days and visit me. We'd see my uncles maybe once every 4 months or on holidays. What is she talking about? I need uncles to be consistent in my child's life. What do you need them to drive your kid to school every day? The uncle who lives 2 states away? He can't just visit on the holidays? What is wrong with these people?
...bed on. And when you're no contact with your family, it gets really awkward when someone reaches out. I have a whole series on here about...
Okay, I'm not going to watch your dumbass again. What else we got? 5 signs you may want to consider no contact with a family member.
Dear no contact kid, these are the things we're no longer going to do. We're no longer allowing you to shut down conversations the moment they get uncomfortable.
Oh, is this is a mom? So there's been a lot of moms who have been talking about this. And then I guess what they do is they go to their therapist and they tell their therapist about it. They say, my kids are no contact with me. And the therapist says, oh, how does that make you feel? You know, the reason the kid went no contact with you is because you put your kid in therapy and you've been in therapy your whole life. And now you're telling your therapist about your kids doing the things that the therapist probably encouraged them to do. This whole no contact, chosen family idea comes from the psychology and therapist world.
That's not a boundary. That's a demand.
We're no longer allowing you to rewrite history.
This is emotional neglect. So telling your kids, even adult
Listen to the over therapized language.
children, that their experience.
Boundaries. Neglect. This is emotional neglect. Boundaries. All these words, all these psychology words. Cope. We overuse this. This is the therapy culture. This is the over psychologizing of language.
Experience of their childhood is wrong.
Emotional neglect.
Emotional neglect.
And these are our demands moving forward. We expect conversations, not shutdowns. We expect accountabilities to go both ways, and we expect to be spoken to with respect, and we will do the same. We are the parents of this family structure, and there is a hierarchy.
There is a hierarchy, which means that you're responsible for holding all your kids' shit, not the other way around.
And that role does not get erased.
You don't owe your parents access to you simply because they're your parents.
And let's be clear about something. Unconditional love is no longer a thing in our family.
That means it never was. There's the emotional abuse right there.
Because you took advantage of it.
Both these bitches are crazy.
And you didn't hold it sacred. So that has to stop here.
You can't take advantage of unconditional love. You just either have it or you don't. And requiring that hurt child perform their relationship in a particular way in order to get love.
That's exactly why we went no contact in the first place, Mom.
That's manipulative and emotionally abusive. Making the relationship transactional.
Relationship transactional, manipulative, emotional abuse, emotional neglect, boundaries. Why do these women talk like this? Just smack that kid. Spare the rod, spoil the child. This is what happens when we don't freaking spank our kids anymore, guys. Mental exploitation, emotional lockup. They call them Trantifa. Yeah, so this is the chosen family phenomenon. Are chosen families just for LGBT low IQ people? Not at all. Anyone can have a chosen family. People form deep, intentional bonds outside of blood or marriage for all kinds of reasons. You could think of it as shared values instead of shared DNA. So,
really ready to be angry.
I watched this girl who I forget her name. It's in my notes. Noelle Maring. Noelle Maring is a psychologist. She has a YouTube channel and stuff, and she's one of the main ones that I've seen talking about this. And here she's talking to Lila Rose about it. There's another interview she did that I watched when I was prepping for that debate, but I have not watched this one yet. But basically, this is all about the no contact or the chosen family epidemic. And they're talking about it here in this video. Most tragic Gen Z no contact. We're going to listen to this.
Agree at someone. And then a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, this is massive.
Why does it look like
overreach
that?
Of power. You know, how can we be succumbing to this?
Why does it look fuzzy? That's on Lila's channel.
So, you know, it made people, I think it created a lot of division.
What has been the most tragic story?
I don't know why it looks blurry like this. This is Lila Rose's video, not mine.
That has caught your eye with regard to Gen Zers, younger people going no contact over ideology with their own loved ones, especially their parents.
Yeah. There's one story. So I've been interviewing a ton of families, and one story sticks out in my mind of this dear father and mother and their daughter. She had already always had maybe some comorbidities, some anxiety, some mental health stuff, and she got
comorbidities. Just the fact that she just said comorbidities, I assume this girl ends up dead.
Captured by kind of a really alternative group and was online a lot, and you know,
online,
they
like on the
online,
internet.
yeah.
764.
And that, you know, parents have all sorts of regrets, of course, but
how old was she? Sorry.
She was about 16 when
So
this
young.
started.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she came out as gay, and then she came out as transgender.
Trans, of course.
But she was just in, you know, having fits of rage, even before starting testosterone. You know, testosterone can put you into fits of rage.
Yeah.
But she was already sort of in that place, very highly.
Tell me about it. I have tons of testosterone and I'm constantly raged.
Emotionally reactive, real black and white thinking, entitled, you know, the three signs of, you know, kind of mental pathologies. And she, their parents really tried to accompany her. At one point, the last time he talked to her, she looked at him and basically gave him an ultimatum, said, your Catholic faith or me. I can't believe you choose your
There it
religion.
is. There it is, right there. I'm going no contact and I'm finding a new chosen family because you guys are too religious. You guys are too conservative. You guys are too extremist because you don't like illegal immigrants. You guys are radical, far-right, racist, bigot Christians. So I'm finding a new family, mom and dad. And I'm not even your son anymore. I'm your daughter now.
Over me, your daughter, or your son, at that point.
No, not son at that point. It's still their daughter. Why would you even grant that?
And he said something to the effect of, I love you, but I also am not going to leave our Lord. And he realized
I opened it, okay?
That, she was asking him, it was a moment of apostasy. That he would be presented with a moment of apostasy. And I think, we always think that would come, at the end of a gun.
A gun, yeah.
In some sort of war or some, political prisoner. To have it be coming from the person to whom you're most,
No, you smack the shit out of that kid and you tell him you're not a boy, you're a girl. Stop it. Get some help.
Beholden to protect, and the person you most care about in the world presenting you with that choice is wild and rather diabolical. And, one of the things I realize is that these parents are really, particularly with the gender, the parents are really an existential threat to their identity. First of all, they have an unstable identity. Gender fluidity is by definition unstable identity. But as parents, you have a canon of memory for your child that they don't have for themselves. I remember when my children were 1 or when they were newborn. They don't remember that. And so they're, our memory for our kids is more comprehensive than their own. And so we can pretend like we're going along with a change in identity, but they know.
That's interesting. I never thought about that. When you're a parent, when you have kids, you remember every part of their life, parts that they didn't even have the ability to remember things you knew about, and things that they just forgot. You might remember that they don't even remember. That is crazy.
That we are a reminder of
and they're just going to throw that all in the trash because mom and dad are Catholics and I'm a transgender.
Identity that just won't die. And so I think parents will always be a threat, particularly for these poor kids who are gender confused.
Where do you make the distinction between there are abusive parents that exist? There are narcissistic parents that exist. There are, boundaries that are healthy that some children should have with their, especially adult children, I should say, should have with their parents, right? And
woman prattle, the boundaries.
So how do you discern, and I know you're exploring this in the book, but how do you discern between a healthy boundary and then an ideological no contact, or let's call it a healthy boundary versus an ideological boundary? Actually, maybe use that framework to keep it simple. How do you discern that?
It's such an important question. So I'm making a big point of the book to say,
I guess it's not a good way to frame it. Talking like leftist psychology women, my healthy boundary could be an ideological boundary. I don't like to be around people who are doing child sacrifice rituals. It's ideological. It's moral. It's religious, I guess. I just don't like hanging out with people when they're sacrificing children. So I don't go around them. I don't do those things. I stay away from those people. That's an ideological boundary, and it's a healthy boundary too. So why isn't an ideological boundary a bad thing? If assuming boundaries is even, this is all just psychology prattle.
If your parents are abusive, if there are situations where going no contact is the right and healthy choice. And what
would be those situations, by the way?
Well, the historical reasons are abuse. A divorce oftentimes leads to no contact for sometimes just and sometimes less just reasons. mental illness, severe addictions. This is historically why in modern West people have gone no contact with parents. If you go back further in the history, which you do,
contact.
there's always been some sort of version of kind of family estrangement, banishment.
Even just putting this label on it, going no contact. Now, I've brought this up. I wanted to talk more about the chosen family phenomenon, but really the no contact thing is the root of it. So these are two separate, but same, but different concepts. The no contact thing, maybe you go no contact with your family because they're abusive, drug addicts, whatever, and you have a good reason not to talk to them anymore. And by the way, when I say forgive your mother, return to your father, that don't mean you got to be best friends with them and hang out with them all the time. So I understand not talking to a family member if they're a piece of shit. I get it. But when we start saying, I'm going no contact, and we make like a whole thing out of it on TikTok, the no contact thing, and then you find out about the chosen family phenomenon, all those kids who are trans and gay and are going no contact from their parents because they're Christian Trump supporters. The next step is to find a new chosen family. And that's when you end up in a house with 3 dads, 2 moms, brothers and sisters, and they're all having orgies with furries every night. Chosen family.
Punishing a relative. And oftentimes, the thing that changed is that historically it was always for the sake of preserving some sort of societal cohesion. So maybe somebody is, a live wire. He's a vicious person, or he's dangerous, or he's a threat to the community. He might, be put in prison or banished in, older times for good or for ill, or commits treason or something. Or if, someone is severely addicted to something and, it's too threatening.
They're dangerous.
Dangerous, yeah. But something switched, particularly in the 20th century when, the rise of ideologies, the type of family estrangement.
Ideologies, the rise of ideologies happened in the 20th century? I'm pretty sure ideologies have arisen from the beginning of conscious minds.
And they weren't even calling it that, but that's what it was, became ideological, meaning it changed in 2 particular ways. One, it was directed from the younger towards the older. And secondly, the big change was that it was not for the sake of preserving unity, but for the sake of the interruption.
July just feels white.
It was for the sake of changing the culture in a revolutionary utopian way. So like in Maoist, and Chairman Mao would say, we have to get rid of the 4 olds. Old religion, old ideas, old culture, old habits or whatever. But old people were part of that. And so they had all of these, the Chinese youth movement that were part of the Communist Party. They had them, denounce their parents on stage in front of a bunch of people.
That's so crazy.
So it's more commie gobbledygook. More commie gobbledygook.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
And that was, for replacing the loyal familial piety with piety to the state, to a Chairman Mao. He became both the spiritual leader and the father leader. And I think we're seeing something similar to that now. It's not in that dramatic way. It's more coming, it's viral, I would say now. So it's coming from the individual himself. It's not like someone's coming to a kid and saying, hey, you should cut off your parents, but it is all over TikTok. There's what I call TikTok psychologists, and like the hashtags toxic parents, narcissistic parents. I mean, these are all over with tons of views. And I think, there's something really appealing to once you elevate kind of the identity of woundedness as being something that kind of gives you a platform and an importance and explains away maybe some sufferings that you have in your life or some ways you haven't been able to thrive. You start looking at your history for a culprit for that. And parents are kind of a natural place to put that. And so if you've got all of these viral kind of influencers talking to you to, this really freed me. I walked away from my family and it's amazing. I feel fantastic now. And then they have like quizzes, were your parents not there for you in an important moment? Did your parents ever kind of withhold affection from you? This is called
This is like the, hold on, I have it in my notes here somewhere. What is it called? The ACE test? Where is it? Where is it? Social emotional learning. Ah, the ACE test. It was right. I was right. I knew it was the ACE test. The ACE test, the adverse childhood experience test. And it's a bunch of questions like, was anybody in your family ever in jail? Did anybody in your family ever abuse you? Did you ever see abuse in your household between other people? Did anybody in your family ever use drugs? Did anybody in your family ever do this? This is the ACE adverse childhood experience test. And then what they do is they'll run this on kids in school, and then it's a predeterminer of lifetime issues, that you're going to have issues in your life. And so if you say yes on this test, yes, I had somebody in my household go to jail. Well, that's a sign that you could end up potentially being a problem in the future and having, and they even tie it to your health. They say you could have bad health, you could have bad mental health, you could be a troublemaker, you're more likely to get into drugs or end up in jail if somebody in your house went to jail. So, but the problem is, the kids will mark yes on that test. Someone in my family went to jail. And the school looks at them all the same way. Well, all these kids' families went to jail. We need to keep our eyes on them. We need to treat them a little differently because they had family members who went to jail. But the test doesn't ask for any details. So one of the kids who says, yes, someone in my family went to jail, one of the kids is saying, it's my weird Uncle Steve. He was homeless. He got kicked out of his place and he stayed in our guest bedroom for a little while. And then he went out and he got a DUI and he went to jail. Okay. I don't know if that's going to be a traumatic event for the whole child's rest of their whole life that's going to end them up as a drug addict in prison. But then the other kid who marks yes, a parent went to jail, is a kid who lived with a single mother who was a crackhead, prostitute. And one night she got caught selling her junk with a bunch of crack on her, and she went to jail. And then the kid ended up in foster care because his single mom just went to prison for 20 years. And now the kid's in foster care for the rest of their life. When that kid puts someone in my family went to prison, that kid is not the same as the kid that's uncle freaking got a DUI one time. Those are not the same thing. But the test puts those two kids in the same category. That's how retarded therapy culture is, especially for children.
Barnum effect. It's this phenomenon where generalized statements you can think applies to you personally. It's like fortune cookies or like horoscopes or, so they will conflate sort of like abuse with very simple kind of normal, maybe parenting failures. I mean, we're all going to fail our kids at some point.
Yeah, like my mom got mad and yelled at me a few times. Well, you were verbally and emotionally abused. That was traumatic to you. That's called trauma building. They build trauma in kids.
Or another, hopefully not in grand, horrible, traumatic ways, but I might be busy one day and not realize this kid has got his feelings hurt and I'm not giving them proper attention. Then I can, once I find out, I can apologize for that. But for them but for kids, they can easily look back in their history, find those moments, and then kind of explode them in their memory to be a source of something wrong with their life now. And I think that's a human temptation.
We Heart Nutrition Doc.
Yeah, I agree. So that's the no contact, and then the chosen family builds off of that. Once you go no contact from your family, you go to a pride parade, and you can find a bunch of gay guys and furries to become your new chosen family. So, and then this is all it says on Wikipedia. Found family or family of choice. LGBTQ individuals in particular often seek out chosen family when ostracized by their families of origin, leaving them in need of social support. Many LGBTQ people face rejection or shame from the families they were raised in upon coming out. Research indicates that in the absence of social support by an individual's family of origin, chosen family can promote psychological resilience. Wow. So see, psychology is pushing this crap. TikTok's pushing this crap. YouTube, I wanted to find more videos about chosen family, but this is what happens if you type in chosen family on YouTube. I put chosen family crisis. Even if you put chosen family crisis, which means I'm looking for the negative aspects of it, what I get is chosen family YouTube channel and all of their videos. This is a podcast called Chosen Family. Now, I've never watched it, but I bet you it's super gay.
Okay, Mac, what's this big juicy update that you don't even know if you can share it?
I'm the same person. I'm actually scared to tell you guys this. Okay.
It says Mac found Jesus. This person found Jesus. This is the Chosen Family podcast.
Okay, what is it? Did you get like glasses or something? I feel like you're gonna put glasses on.
I low-key... Okay. And I'm low-key...
Apparently, she is saying she's a Christian. She found Christ. But it seems like they're just gonna... This looks like a horrible podcast. I do not feel like watching it. But anyway, that's what happens when I look up stuff about the chosen family crisis. All I get is this. So it was hard to do research on it. Look at this. I did not put chosen family podcast. I put chosen family crisis. And this is all I get. Anyway. TikTok is a mess.
I'm going to say something that a lot of people are afraid to say. Going no contact with your family is not a bad thing. Yeah,
shut up. You're so gay.
That's right. I said it.
That's
Some
right.
of y'all
I said it.
With family members.
I said it. I said something that is just going to get me some clicks on TikTok because I'm deep.
That bring nothing but drama, stress, and chaos into your life. And you keep calling it love just because y'all share the same blood. That ain't love, that's conditioning. See, psychology would tell you this. If you keep yourself around people that trigger your stress, your anxiety, your anger, your body stays in survival mode. You can't grow like that.
But I don't think about it as no contact. I'm going no contact with my family. I just avoid it. And then if there's times where I could still go to, even if it was somebody that I have problems with, I could still talk to them and meet up somewhere or be in the same room with them and not like lose my mind and have an emotional breakdown. You just kind of ignore them. It's not a big deal. Same thing with your family. You don't have to have a name for it. Going no contact. It's ridiculous. Look at this weirdo.
I want to talk going no contact with parents and siblings.
And I know I've seen a girl on my Facebook that has these dots on her nose. What is this? Is this a new thing? Are those tattoos people are doing dots on their faces now?
So I went to lunch with a couple new people yesterday, potential friends, and
Potential
the conversation
friends.
of parents and specifically going no contact and estrangement from parents came up. Both of these individuals had been
This girl's a real winner. If she's a girl, I don't even know.
estranged from their parents when they passed away unexpectedly. Two different people, different scenarios. And we had a conversation about how that felt, right?
Yeah, if your parents die, that's not going no contact.
Never have given a chance for your parent to repair or,
Oh my God, Auntie, I knew you sent me stuff and I forgot to check it. Fuck, I meant to check it this morning. I saw you sent me something about a woman with cannibalism and I wanted to look into it. Crap, I forgot to add that stuff to the show. Possessed ex-wife or the woman who was arrested for cannibalism. I feel like oh man, my bad. I knew you sent me a bunch and I told myself this morning I'm going to go through them and I just totally it slipped my mind. I forgot it, but maybe throughout the week I can look at those stories, but I would definitely listen to this chick and take detailed notes.
whatever it looks like, and then they die, and that's really it. And without sharing too much about anybody else's story,
No, she didn't send me no meatloaf.
both of them shared that they did not feel regret or remorse. They didn't feel guilty. They didn't feel like they had done anything wrong.
Okay, I can't keep watching this shit. All right, guys, that's the show for the day. The bottom line is the major takeaway. Going no contact. We don't need to have a name for it. If your family is screwed up and you don't talk to them, we get it. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about kids who are mad because their parents are Trump supporters. Kids who are mad because they're gay and their parents are like, that's weird. You're not a boy. Or, I'm trans. I'm a girl, Dad. No, you're not. You're a boy. Shut up. I'm going no contact. Get out of here. You sound gay. You are gay. And then the chosen family stuff is when it gets real weird. And I think there's a lot of stories about coming out now about gay couples who have adopted kids and weird stuff is happening. It keeps coming out. There's two that I think of off the top of my head. We covered one. The more recent one we didn't cover. It's horrible. It's disgusting and horrible what they did to this child that they adopted. But this is where you eventually end up with this no contact, chosen family, LGBT, low IQ, STD stuff, the trans, all this crap. All this woke Marxist commie gobbledygook. This is where it ends up. You end up like a crazy person on TikTok. So, that's all I got to say about that, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out.
Two mentals don't make a non-mental.
Guys, it's Monday night. We kicked the week off right. I am JS Urban Adventures, Josh, the Dreaded Conservative. This is the Dreaded Conservative Show. We're here every Monday night. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the super chats. If you didn't like the stream yet, at least like it on the way out because it's free. Wrath of Reason, Half Hood, Darth Steves, thank you for the super chats. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Remember, if you like the show, tell a friend. If you hate it, tell everybody. Share it out. Get it out there. I'm finding a raid right now. Teriak, Rob, or Grump. We'll go to Teriak. All right. Again, thank you guys for hanging out. God bless. The world's a crazy place. I'm just reporting on it. Hope everybody had a great 4th of July. White History Month is just getting started. We'll be back next Monday. Come around for the Bible studies. We're going to be starting the book of Mark sometime this week. We just finished Matthew. Getting through the New Testament now. God bless, guys. I'm out. Peace.